Good evening.
Good
Hope you're doing great out there. Hi. So, hey, everybody. This is Matthews After Dark. My name is Martin Matthews.
And I'm Chelsea Matthews. We have two, where's my hand? There it is. Two amazing guests tonight. We had one of them with us before, and now we have his beautiful better half. Sorry. We have this amazing couple, foster care experts, have had over 50 foster kids in their home, not all at once, hopefully. Please welcome Drs. John and Kelly DeGarmo. And they are going to share with us some stuff that they are up to tonight and how you can be a part of it and how you can help. So how are you guys tonight? Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you very much for having us, and thank you for the welcome.
Yes, and it's so nice to have you here this time, Kelly. John, we had so much fun having you on the show last time, but it is definitely a pleasure having you tonight, Kelly.
Thank you. I still haven't seen that. I need to look at it.
Oh, yes. It was really good. We had a lot of fun.
Well, you've been so busy with a lot of kids. That's probably why, huh?
We have been kind of busy, and usually we can't both be at the same place at the same time. So, our house could burn down, and almost just did. So we kind of haven't.
So we won't keep you too long.
So let's talk a little bit about where you're from, because you have a little bit of an accent there. So tell us a little bit about where you're from.
I have an accent.
Yeah.
You guys kind of have an accent.
Oh, okay.
I am from Australia, and I was born in Australia and lived there for the first 25. Wow, it's getting 25 years of my life. Plus.
Okay.
And then so when did you come to America? What got you to come here?
The Yankee.
So you guys, did you meet in Australia or did you guys meet here in America?
Oh my gosh, you didn't talk about that last time?
I don't know.
In Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
We traveled in a performing group around the world, singing and dancing. So that's how we met. And she was very, very attracted to this very handsome, suave Yankee.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's not how it worked out.
She has a different
He was in love with the German, and he was obsessed with the Swede.
Oh, there you go. The truth comes out.
Yeah.
So you guys have a deep passion for children and helping. Now, how did that come about? Did it start with one person, or did both of you kind of noticed that this was something that you were both into? How did that come about for you guys?
Actually, it started with a little bit of a sad story. Our first baby died of a disease called anencephaly or anencephaly. And I remember being in the hospital after that happened, and a nurse accidentally brought in a baby for feeding time. And I remember thinking, oh, I could take this baby and love it, in a very irrational thought and pretend to be the mother. I just remember thinking for just that second. Of course, the nurse immediately realized and apologized profusely because we were in quite a bit of grief, and they moved me off maternity ward after that. But it was just that moment when you felt like I could so love someone else's child. I just knew in my heart I could. And fast forward, we had 3 healthy babies, and he was teaching high school.
In America,
and a young girl was in his maybe English or drama class, was pregnant with triplets. Wow. And wasn't able to take care of them. And one day he came home and he said, "What would you do if I brought home 3 babies?"
Oh, wow.
I said, "I would hope you would bring diapers." And he's like, "That's your answer? That's all? You're not?" And I just remember thinking that was the moment we both realized, yeah, we could take on more.
And we've been changing diapers for 20 years straight now.
Wow. You guys must be pretty good at changing diapers. Like, how fast can you do it?
I'm not good at all. He's excellent.
We
He
should
always do it.
We should have got our doctorate in diaper changing.
Oh, that's funny. So, and you had the 3 kids at that time?
Yeah,
Right.
we had 3 biological kids, yeah.
Okay.
So how did you get started in your beyond that? How did you get started in the work that you're doing today?
Well,
Which work?
the work with children, because I know you started talking about the how you could love a child that wasn't your own. But how did that become the work that you do?
Well, I think because do you want to go?
Yeah. For me, it was you know, I believe I shared last time the story of the young girl who the foster care system failed. You know, she was with us for almost 2 years and became a big part of our family, and then she was removed and placed with her family, her own biological family members, who where she was raped and abandoned and deserted and ended up in a mental health hospital, and the system really failed her. So it really drives me each day to not let that happen again. So from there, it's built, you know, the books and the speaking. But for Kelly, she has found that she's able to bring a different type of therapy to children. And I want to talk about that.
I think at some point, my mom says there has to be an ending point for adopting and keeping kids, because we're getting older and I'm tired.
Oh yeah. Funny thing. So at church Sunday, one of the people said, and they pointed to our 4-year-old daughter and said, she'll graduate in 2032. And I went, oh my gosh. I was like, is this so yeah, I agree with what Kelly said. It has to end at some point.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you know, there's a lot of pain in taking in children because they have to leave. You know, I always say when you're fostering, it's the first night and the last night are the hardest for me. So, and probably for the child too. So I feel like that you really can't deal with continual heartbreak like that with children coming and going, and there becomes a burnout point. And I think after as many as we have done, we've only adopted 3. We wanted to Oh, there you are. You froze.
Can you hear us?
Okay. Hey guys.
Yeah.
So we had just a little technical thing. So if you guys can hear us, just let us know. And if you guys can see us live, just let us know. Just drop something in the comments.
We can. Can you hear us?
I think we might be back, and now they look frozen on our side.
Yeah.
But I think they're waiting.
So if you guys are listening on the audience, if you guys can hear us, just press live. Just say something in the comments, and then we'll know that you guys are there. We're gonna be talking until we get them back on.
Yeah, I think they can hear us.
Okay.
They can all hear us. I think it's frozen on our side.
Okay.
We're here. We can see you and hear you.
Okay, so they can all hear us, but we can hear them. So if you guys just turn off your camera and turn it back on, and then it'll probably circle back through on our end. Okay. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Right.
Technical difficulties.
That's live video. That's how we roll. So you have an, I don't know if I want to call it an initiative, but you have a program of taking kids to Disneyland. So as I'd like to hear in your
world.
Disney World. Okay.
We're not originally. He's not originally from California, but we moved from California, so we're used to Disneyland. I've never been to Disney World.
Yeah. I would take kids to Disneyland. Yeah, I love Disneyland.
I've been to Disneyland many times, but I haven't been to Disney World yet. So tell us about your initiative and kind of how it came about.
Oh, wow. So we are Disney nuts and have been for me forever. Right. Of course, you live in Australia, there's no Disney, so Disney, you could make that happen if you wanted to. That'd be great. But we fell in love with Disney. We even wanted to get married at Disney, but we didn't. But anyway, our family used to go, and we still go every year, and we would go camping there. And so when we got foster children, we also thought, well, what a great place to take them as well. So we take foster children as well with us when we go, and you have to get all kinds of permission to take them out of the state and all that sort of stuff. And we've done it many times. Anytime we go and we have a foster child in the home. However, there have been a few times that hasn't been made possible. But one time, we took these 3 little boys, and they had a great connection with their both parents, and it was a very, very sad situation of just people falling on hard times. And we wanted to surprise them with a trip to Disney. And they cried themselves to sleep every night. They were very inconsolable. Their parents were...
It's hard.
Yeah,
really hard.
Good at one time, good people that just had... Anyway, so we ended up taking them. We got permission to take them, and they transformed to children. They acted their age, and they had joy and happiness, and it was like this truly, I hate to use a cliche, but it was a truly magical experience. And, you know, they got a t-shirt and they got their hats, and they just were so happy, and they played. And so we thought, wow, this was, and when they came back to our house, it didn't end. They were different. They saw a world out there that was not all sad and not all, you know, they didn't feel
they
like
saw a future.
They didn't feel like a foster child at Disney. Mm-hmm. So I just thought, if we could just take every kid there one time that had extreme hard circumstances, just so they could see. I mean, I know it's Disney, and it's not like someone said, well, why can't you just take them to Six Flags? It's just not the same experience. Yeah. And I'm sure I shouldn't mention that, but it's just Disney do the whole package, you know, with a full experience. And anyway, they felt like little princes, and I just really thought I'd like to keep doing that. So we have, and then I thought, well, we can take the children in our home, but we need to take other children in other people's homes.
Right.
So we started this nonprofit called A Happy Childhood, meaning it's never too late for a happy childhood. You can start now. You can be adults and have had a horrible time and go to Disney and just feel like, you know, little prince and princesses for a day.
Do it again.
Right. You know, there's a type of therapy called play therapy. Well, we've created something which we call Disney therapy. When these children go there, they're able to leave behind all of their anxieties, all of their abuse, their trauma, and even the label of just being a child in foster care, and immerse themselves in a place, in an atmosphere where it's complete imagination, complete play, and we have seen children smile for the very first time, and children laugh for the very, very first time as they leave behind all that thing and learn how to play and learn how to be a child. And they take that with them. It really is a great healing aspect for these children.
And you can do that. I've seen that with kids before they go to Disney on our swing set. You know, a little girl that's 4 that's never swung before. You can see she's never been on a swing set before. And so you can get those experiences in your backyard. But we also took that little girl to Disney as well. And it's just a bigger transformation.
Yeah, when that princess bends down and takes that little 4-year-old girl's hand in her own, the girl who had just suffered such incredible abuse and trauma that you can't even imagine, and the smile that comes over that girl's face, the first real smile, you know, it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah,
healing
really
takes
fun.
place.
Okay, I said I wasn't going to cry tonight. I know that when we talked to John on the phone, we were having breakfast, and that's when you were telling us the story about the girl who, you know, kind of leads your passion. And I was just sitting at the table just sobbing, listening to some of the things that these kids have gone through and continue to go through. So I just love what you guys are doing and your hearts for these children, not just your own children and the ones that you've brought into your home, but to help as many as you possibly can. And so to do something like that, you guys need some help, you know, with putting the nonprofit together and funding it. And I'm not sure if that's where you were going to talk about some of the stuff that we talked about earlier today.
Yeah, and so quickly, for everybody listening, when you share, please put #share so we can recognize you and give you a shout out. We're doing this for the kids, and you're hearing all the different things that both Kaylee and John are talking about here. How important it is. You know, they've been foster parents too. Between their biological kids and foster parents, over 50 children that have shown a lot of love throughout their lives. But, you know, there's an aspect of getting them out of their environment of where they are now to somewhere new. You know, how many people go somewhere new to start over? So imagine that for a kid, and imagine the difference that can make. So what is it like? So you started the nonprofit, and in taking the kids to Disneyland, what are some of the things you're having to deal with to make this a reality?
Well, we were able to clear it with the state. The state gave us permission to take the children over state lines.
Just the state of Georgia so far.
Right. And we've had a lot of different private foster care agencies in the state of Georgia hop on board and say, I want to be a part of this. They want to join us with this. So now we have to look for, we've done it in our own home, but as Kelly said, we want to take it to another level. We want to help even more children. We want to give every child in the state of Georgia an opportunity to have that happy childhood. So right now we are, as this nonprofit, we need help with costs for transportation, for lodging, for food, because we want to give them the complete Disney experience. We want them to have that one-on-one encounter with Cinderella. We want them to eat in the castle. We want them to have the complete experience so they can completely leave behind everything and just immerse themselves in it. So those are the things we're looking at doing now, funding, yeah.
And Disney is on board. They are going to work with us.
They're very excited about it, actually.
They, I don't know in what capacity, but they can help with tickets, but they can't do food and accommodation. It's sort of so complicated in the Disney world of finances that's not just all one company really. I don't really know how it works, but they will definitely help with tickets. So it's just all the fluff stuff that we need.
Right.
Like
And then let me paint, for somebody out there listening, let me paint a little bit of a picture from my personal experience. So I grew up as a kid in a war-torn country. And some of my greatest memories would be from one day when I had some kind of a fun thing that I did. And when you're going through a traumatic experience, what I used to do to cope was I would think back to that one day where I was running on the beach and flying a kite. And just that little moment, that one day, no matter how difficult things were and how crazy it was outside and all the crazy things that was going on in the world, that was my happy place. Those memories would be my happy place I would go to that helped me to cope with all the different things that are happening. Right. So for these kids, for a lot of normal people, that might be, hey, it's a great vacation. You go there and that's fun and everything. For some of these kids, that may be their escape, their mental escape when they're in a tough situation, when they're in a tough place, when life isn't going the way they want it to go. That might be the thing to think of. That might be the thing to think of that says, someone cares about me. Right. And some of these kids, some of them may try to end their lives because they may not see hope. And so it might be, remember when they took us there and they showed us so much love. There's good people in the world. All of that. This is what Dr. John and Kelly are trying to do for these children. They're very passionate about it. And here's the issue because so John came on our show maybe a month ago, and we talked about this, and he talked about what we're doing, and we talked about working together to bring more awareness around this issue. And so he sent me a message this morning, and he said a major airline told them no, told them no, that they couldn't help this initiative that they have. And my initial reaction was I got pissed off. First of all, I got pissed off, and I'm going to tell you who it is, by the way, because I don't care. They may not want me to tell you, but I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
So,
your friends that work there.
But your friends didn't say no. The airlines.
No, their friends did not.
No, they did not.
Friends didn't say no. So my beef is with the airline. So Delta Airlines,
especially after what just happened.
Delta Airlines is based here in Georgia. And guys, if you haven't shared, please share the stream out so that we can get more attention towards this, because we're looking for a way to be able to do this for these kids. Delta Airlines, who several days ago, one of the flight attendants, which I'm sure she's a nice lady, threatened a family on the flight and said, we're going to send your kid to jail, and then they're going to get into foster home. So, and Delta apologized for that.
Well, I think they should have fired that person.
Well,
my personal opinion.
It's not really about her. It's about the Delta Airlines, that after an issue like that they've been in the press, and a lot of airlines have been in the press for negativity.
This would be a perfect chance to redeem themselves.
This would be a perfect opportunity for them to say, you know what, we do care about foster kids. We do care about, the experience they have. Let us show that by supporting this particular organization. But they didn't, they declined to do it. And so here's what Dr. John and Kelly need. They need good people out there who, either if you work in some kind of organization, if you're a small business owner, or if you work for a big company, or if you have an initiative where you have a passion around helping kids, then get in touch with us. We'll put out links and things for you to get in touch with us or get in touch with them to find out what it takes to be able to help these kids do one of the trips. So they've already said that Disney is supporting, allowing providing tickets on the trip. So what we're looking for and what they're looking for we're looking through our network. All you guys who want a 10x growth comms, all you guys that are connector, all you guys have all these connections with us, with all these people, all you guys who watch our show. This is an opportunity where we can actually put things into motion and do something for kids to have maybe even a once in a lifetime experience for them. So they got turned down by a major airline for whatever reason said no to foster kids. I don't know why. I just completely disagree with that. They have billions of dollars. So first of all, I'm probably never going to fly Delta Airlines anymore, by the way. And they're based here in Atlanta. I don't like flying Delta Airlines. You probably have good people there, but I don't understand why do we do that. So to combat that, we're reaching out to ordinary business people in the community, especially if you're locally here in Georgia or you know people in Georgia who are willing to support an initiative like this. Then make sure to get in touch with all of us so that we can put some things into motion to help them, to help generate this. So I know you guys have friends there, and I'm not talking about
this initiative.
I want to say something. I mentioned last time that I really believe not everybody can be a foster parent. It's the hardest thing I've done. Would you agree?
Amen.
But as I said last time to you guys, everybody can help a child in foster care in some way. And there's 500,000 kids across America. And right now, foster care is in a crisis in our nation. It's an absolute crisis. In fact, the numbers have risen up dramatically in the last couple of years. And in Georgia, the numbers have actually doubled. But sadly, there are less foster parents. Mm-hmm. So not everybody can do what we're doing, but everybody can help in some way. And this is one way that people can help. And they can really bring hope and healing to children out there.
Yeah. Well, something that we've been talking a lot about is, because we talk about personal and financial development. We talk about how important it is to be able to provide for your family and live the life that you want, but not just to take care of ourselves, not just to take care of our families, but we really have a duty not just to be as successful as possible just for our own family, but so that we can make a difference for the others that don't have the opportunities that we do. And I was just talking the other day about how we don't realize how many opportunities we have and how many things that we have to be grateful for. And just within our own family, like I think about our 11-year-old son, William, and the home that he gets to come home to and the parents that he has. And, it just makes me think of how horrible it would be for him to be in a situation like that. And it breaks my heart. And just as much as it breaks my heart to think of my own son being in a situation like that, it breaks my heart to think of any child to not feel loved or to not even be taken care of. And so to have the opportunity to be able to help these kids, to let them know that they are thought of, that they are loved, and then give them an experience like this, it could really be life-changing. So I just encourage all of you to challenge yourselves and think about how could you get involved, whether it's financially, whether you have maybe some resource or something that can help them get there, or whatever you can think of. Use your creativity. Who do you know that could get involved? And so did we do we have a link?
So we're going to put up the link right afterwards. What I think will help the best is if you know any business owners, especially, look, somebody who was either adopted or somebody who knows people in the foster system or somebody like that is somebody who might have a heart for sponsoring a trip for the kids. Beyond that, we'll also have a link where you guys, if you want to do that personally, you can make a donation there, and that helps going towards this. They're going to document the experience with the kids. They're going to show, and you'll be able to see how what you're able to do is going to help them. I just know that growing up when you're in a tough situation, having days like that where you can have an escape from the realities of your life. I mean, look how many adults want an escape from the realities of their life.
Right.
Yeah, and then think about a little child who they come into the world. They don't ask to be brought into the world. They come into the world, and then from in their youth they have to deal with all these different obstacles and different challenges. And this is just this one thing that'll really make a big difference for them. And so that's why we're reaching out and seeing if there's people out there who, if you're an entrepreneur, if you work for a big firm and you're thinking, what can I do? Maybe you work for a big company and you can talk to somebody in HR and say, hey, can we sponsor an initiative for kids? And who do you talk to there? Maybe you reach out to somebody like that and see what you can do. They have all the documentation and they have a proposal already there that's ready to go. So you can
profit too. So
Right.
get tax breaks and
Right.
all that sort of stuff.
You're mentioning about these children, that 4-year-old girl who had been raped over and over and over by a relative. And that same girl who could not speak a single word when she came to us, just pointed and grunted at things. When she went to Disney World, as Kelly said, life was transformed, absolutely transformed. And that's what we want to do for all the children.
So now, so John, you go around and you speak all around on this topic. What's the experience like when you go out and speak? What's the response like that you see from people as you go and talk about this all around the world?
Well, I really open myself up and I really share the difficult, painful stories. And I tell people this is hard, but this is real. It's happening right here in our own backyards, in our own neighborhoods, in our own cities. And so many people are blind to it. We put their blinders on. Atlanta is a major, major hub of child sex trafficking. So many of these kids, 75% of child sex trafficking victims are kids who have been in foster care or who are in foster care. And it happens right here. So when I share these stories, it's very heartwarming to see that people say, you know what, I want to help. I want to make a difference. I want to change life. This is not about us. This is not our program. This is everybody's coming together to help these children in need. That's what it's all about.
So my dad in California is on. Hi, Dad. And he has a question. He says, hi, John and Kelly. What's the max age to become a foster child?
Well, I met a couple in Texas recently.
He wants us to adopt him.
Yeah, well, you can come to our house. Sure. Come on over.
Actually, speaking of that, we have taken teenagers to Disney that have been in our house, and that's a big deal for them too, because if they have been in the system and they're not even at 18, and if that we used to have a thing that we would say, a policy, personal policy, no teenagers, because they're scary and crazy, and we have broken that over and over and over again. And it has never failed to usually transform us. People think, oh, you're so good, you do all this work. But now, granted, there is not a lot of good kudos from the kids while they're in your house. Right. But when they leave and get back to you, you get that feeling that there was a big change in their life. And they do know something else is out there now. Kind of like what Martin was saying there. They go back to their families and they try to reunite and live, and it's not always a good situation. Right. It rarely is. But they are with parents that are trying. Some of the parents aren't, but some of the parents are. But that child has that memory. And even when things are tough, and they can, if they're allowed to connect with us, even by phone or text or any social media way, their fondest memories are usually from when they were at Disney, and it just transformed their lives. It makes them feel like they have hope. And so when they have those bad days, like what Martin was talking about, then they can go back to that memory and think about, okay, there is more to life than the horror that I'm living now, and perhaps I can change it. That's what I really want from this. Not just, yay, I got to see Mickey Mouse. I just want them to know that they can be a different person and they don't have to live the life that they were dealt with.
To have hope of a better life, that they can create something.
Right.
What was I just going to say? Oh, so when you become a foster parent, can you guys just get a call at any time and say, like, can you take a kid right
always in the middle of the night.
Yeah, our very first one came at 10:30 at night. Yeah, we've had lots of phone calls in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Late at night. Sure. Yeah. In fact, and I had to. There's one time recently where I had to leave late at night to go to a 24-hour Walmart to get a bunch of underwear and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Just the clothes on their back. So it's lots of late night shopping. 2 or 3 in the morning, buying clothes for these kids, buying diapers, buying bottles, buying food, buying shoes.
Or you might just get a baby in a hospital gown, and that's it.
Right.
Wow.
That is incredible.
Wow, that is crazy.
So, hey, Mike Chavez, Susan Day. Susan says her daughter was in foster care for a year when she was a baby. And her boss is a foster mom. That's Susan Day.
Aww.
I think Carla had a comment, because I know they're involved.
Thanks for sharing, Mike Chavez.
So Carla says, my neighbor had 6 foster kids they have since adopted, took them all to Disney. My daughter and her husband have 5 kids and fostering 2 now. So, and she says, so selfless, it takes a wonderful, loving person to be a good foster parent. Awesome. Very cool. Hey guys, thanks for sharing this out. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing this out. If you've shared, please comment #shared so we can shout you out.
And if you're just joining us, we're here with Doctors John and Kelly DeGarmo, foster care and foster parents, and they go around and speak around on this topic. And Kelly has a program of taking kids to Disney. I'm from California, so it's a Disneyland. Okay, so Disney World. Disney World has
it's bigger, like 3 times the size, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's like pretty big.
Disney.
Our castle is bigger.
Oh, a bigger castle. Okay.
However, Walt walked the streets of Disneyland. I know how it works. I've got friends. We have our friends that it's their Disney and our Disney, but we know how to work together. Yeah, I love both.
Yeah.
We got to check out Disney World.
Yeah, so we got to go there. But so we're talking, and this is they're wanting to take some kids. So you guys have done this before. Tell us a little bit more about what it was like for some of the kids who went there. For those of the people who are just joining our stream, what was that experience like for the kids who went there for the first time? How was it like for them?
I remember the first time I ever went to Disneyland. I was 15. We came from Australia to go to visit relatives, and I remember walking in feeling like I thought I was going to be transformed into a storybook character or something, and it wasn't as magical as I thought. I mean, it is for me now as an adult, but I just remember at that moment. So I often wondered when we took kids, I hope their expectations aren't too great. I hope it's not going to disappoint them. I worry about that. However, it has never disappointed me. You walk in through those gates and they see the castle, boy, girl, doesn't matter. And they just, they light up and they're different and they don't fight. I mean, well,
it's a completely different
side.
We're
we're at Disney. There's no crying, there's no fighting. But it's just magical. I just don't even understand. And these kids,
it's amazing
therapeutic is probably the best word. But these kids have had hardships. Obviously, if you're in foster care, you have already been, and if you're a child that's walking and talking, you have been in a life that was difficult. It doesn't just happen overnight. There's a process, and so they may have been in a horrible situation, or their parents might have been trying so very hard to keep them and having to move lots, and so they've had an unstable childhood.
Very unstable.
And so they don't usually get to experience childhood like, say, most children do.
They don't have a childhood.
And they become responsible. Some of them feel like they have to be the parent for a while, especially if a parent has a substance abuse. And so they think that they have to be the responsible one. But going to Disney with us, and we just totally allow them to abandon everything and be kids. Right. Just be kids. And it's just, I think it's as fun for me to watch that transformation, if not more, than it is for them to experience it. And then when the sad day comes and I want to cry when you have to leave Disney because I hate it, Disneyland or Disney World, doesn't matter. And I want to go to all the other Disneys too. He says he has enough points to take me to Shanghai, so I hope so. On Delta, maybe. But, well, what was I going to say?
I'm not sure.
Lost my train of thought. Dang it.
You know, we've taken a lot of kids at the same time. We actually have taken 2 carfuls
that's
of
bad.
kids
That's crazy.
to Disney World. You know, and the entire time we're counting kids the entire time there.
Yeah.
But with a Happy Childhood, the program is designed for Kelly and another volunteer to take 6 children at a time over the course of 5 days. So. Are you there?
We lost.
We're back. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
We got lost.
So during those 5 days, 6 children will be able to go there, and as Kelly said, just learn how to play. So it's a fantastic program, and we're just looking for people who want to say, I want to help these children. I want to be part of this.
Perfect. So how can people get in touch with you? Let's say somebody says, hey, I know a business owner who would love to sponsor something like this or contribute or do something. How do people get in touch with you for something like that?
Well, there's a few ways. They can go,
I don't know.
There's a few ways. And go to a Happy Childhood website, a Happy Childhood foster care website. They can find a Happy Childhood on Facebook. They can just contact me on Facebook, Dr. John DeGarmo, or Kelly on Facebook. There's on our website, there's contact information there as well. So there's a number of ways.
And we'll put some of the links in the comments here so you guys can be able to click on this stream and be able to go there to get in touch with them. And so we want to get things in motion with some of this. So we will, so here's what they're looking for. They need to in order to take these kids, the foster kids, to Disney World and have them have this experience, this amazing experience, this life-changing experience. Well, it takes some resources to be able to do it. So they're putting together some resources. They've reached out to some major companies already. One of them was a major airline who said no to foster kids. So it may be a small business owner out there. Maybe there's somebody out there in your community that you know. Maybe it's the community itself that comes together and support this as a cause. But anything to do with children, we're very passionate about. So we're going to help in all the different ways that we can. With both talking about it on our shows, reaching out to people that we know, and finding out how we can get things in motion to make this happen. And I would encourage every one of you, anybody, if you can hear my voice or you can see us right now, think about 1 or 2 people that you may be able to reach out to. Or maybe it's something, maybe you're thinking what's something you can do. So just think about that and then get in touch with us, leave a comment. We'll make sure to get in touch with you. If you leave a comment and say, hey, I'd like to learn more or something like that. And we'll also put links to the various websites where you can go and learn more about the initiative and the nonprofit. So before we wrap up, do you have a question or some other thoughts? Okay, before we wrap up, any final thoughts you guys like to leave our audience with?
I think the name describes it. It's never too late for a happy childhood. And I really believe, and I know Kelly believes the same thing, that every child deserves a childhood. Every child deserves a chance to learn how to be a kid. And sadly, there's so many kids out there who have never smiled, who have never laughed. And so we are excited by the people who tonight who want to say, hey, you know what? We want to change. We want to change lives. We want to change lives. And this is it. This is absolutely changing the lives of kids who have never had anybody say, I care about you.
Awesome. Perfect. So we look forward to kind of reporting and updating with people as we expand this and try to put together the resources that's necessary, because you guys have done it before. You took money out of your own pocket to be able to do this for these kids. Right. And everybody has a limit. There's a limit to what you guys can do. But together, I think
Oh, I wish. You know, we took 9 kids there one time, and I thought, this is it. You know, it's out of our own pocket, out of our own wallet. And I thought, you know, we can't keep doing this. But how do we take it bigger? How do we make it bigger? So this is it.
Yeah. So, you know, there's Coca-Cola. There's a lot of big companies here. There's, I mean, this is Atlanta. There's a lot of great companies here, a lot of entrepreneurs here, a lot of people here who love to give back and make a difference. And so we will make sure that happens where we can get to the right people, or we pull together as a community to do this for these kids and make sure that can happen for them. And I assure you that's going to make a big impact, just because I remember, I would think about the days where a good day made an impact for me. So imagine what this might do for a child who's coming up, who, as John says, doesn't really have a childhood. You know, their childhood in so many ways have been stolen from them. And if you can relate to that, then you're somebody who can really help with these kids. So thank you guys for coming on and spending time with us here tonight. And we look forward to doing more things and getting the word out even more. And I can't wait to report that it's, you know, that you guys have put together the funding for the first trip, and then have seen those kids go out there and seeing the smiles on their faces while they're out there and just having this great time. So I think that'll be I just think that'll be really amazing. So thank you guys for all you do. Thank you
very much. And thank you for having us.
Right.
This was fun.
Thank you for coming on so much. We appreciate you and everything you do. And thank you to everyone watching and sharing and getting involved. We appreciate you.
And all the people on the replay, thank you guys for watching and sharing. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.